Hello, and welcome to TaBNWNE's Wikipedia News Edition, Season 1 Remastered.
On 7th episode is Twitter, known as X. Twitter, officially known as X since July 2023, is a social networking service.
It is one of the world's largest social media websites and one of the most visited websites.
Users can share short text messages, images, and videos in short posts commonly known as tweets or retweets, officially post or repost, and like other users' content.
The platform also includes direct messaging, video and audio calling, bookmarks, lists, communities, a chatbot, Grok, job search and spaces, a social audio feature.
Users can vote on context added by approved users using the community notes feature. Twitter was created in March 2006 by Jack Dorsey, Noah Glass, Viz Stone, and Evan Williams, and was launched in July of that year.
Twitter grew quickly. By 2012, more than 100 million users produced 340 million tweets per day.
Twitter, Incorporated, was based in San Francisco, California, and had more than 25 offices around the world.
A signature characteristic of the service initially was that posts were required to be brief.
Posts were initially limited to 140 characters, which was changed to 280 characters in 2017.
The limitation was removed for subscribed accounts in 2023.
The majority of tweets are produced by a minority of users.
In 2020, it was estimated that approximately 48 million accounts, 15% of all accounts, were run by internet bots rather than humans.
The service is owned by the American company X-Corp, which was established to succeed the prior owner Twitter, Incorporated in March 2023 following the October 2022 acquisition of Twitter by Elon Musk for US $44 billion.
Musk stated that his goal with the acquisition was to promote free speech on the platform.
Since his acquisition, the platform has been criticized for enabling the increased spread of misinformation and hate speech.
Linda Yaccarino succeeded Musk as CEO on June 5, 2023, with Musk remaining as the chairman and the chief technology officer.
In July 2023, Musk announced that Twitter would be rebranded to X and the bird logo would be retired, a process which was completed by May 2024.
In December 2023, Fidelity estimated the value of the company to be down 71.5% from its purchase price.
Since Musk's takeover, data from app tracking firms has shown that global usage of Twitter has declined by approximately 15%, compared to a decline of 5 to 10% in some other social media sites.
The platform has disputed that usage has dropped at all, with Musk claiming that membership had grown to 600 million users as of a May 2024 tweet.
Jack Dorsey claims to have introduced the idea of an individual using an SMS service to communicate to a small group during an all-day brainstorming session at the podcasting company Audio in 2006.
The original project code name for the service was TWTTR, an idea that Williams later ascribed to Noah Glass, inspired by Flickr and the 5-character length of American SMS shortcodes.
The decision was also partly due to the fact that the domain Twitter.com was already in use, and it was 6 months after the launch of TWTTR that the crew purchased the domain and changed the name of the service to Twitter.
The developers initially considered 10958 as the service's shortcode for SMS text messaging, but later changed it to 40404 for ease of use and memorability.
Work on the project started in February 2006.
Dorsey published the first Twitter message on March 21, 2006.
Just setting up my TWTTR.
Dorsey explained the origin of the Twitter title as,
We came across the word Twitter and it was just perfect. The definition was a short burst of inconsequential information and chirps from birds. And that's exactly what the product was.
the first Twitter prototype, developed by Dorsey and contractor Florian Weaver, was used as an internal service for audio employees.
The full version was introduced publicly on July 15, 2006.
In October 2006, Vistone, Evan Williams, Dorsey, and other members of Audio formed Obvious Corporation and acquired Audio, together with its assets, including Audio.com and Twitter.com, from the investors and shareholders.
Williams fired Glass, who was silent about his part in Twitter's startup until 2011.
Twitter spun off into its own company in April 2007.
Williams provided insight into the ambiguity that defined this early period in a 2013 interview.
With Twitter, it wasn't clear what it was. They called it a social network, they called it microblogging, but it was hard to define because it didn't replace anything. There was this path of discovery with something like that, where over time you figure out what it is. Twitter actually changed from what we thought it was in the beginning, which we described as status updates and a social utility. It is that, in part, but the insight we eventually came to was Twitter was really more of an information network than it is a social network.
The tipping point for Twitter's popularity was the 2007 South by Southwest Interactive SXSWI conference.
During the event, Twitter usage increased from 20,000 tweets per day to 60,000.
The Twitter people cleverly placed two 60-inch plasma screens in the conference hallways, exclusively streaming Twitter messages, remarked Newsweek's Stephen Levy.
Hundreds of conference goers checked tabs on each other via constant Twitters. Panelists and speakers mentioned the service, and the bloggers in attendance touted it.
Reaction at the conference was highly positive.
Twitter staff received the festival's Web Award Prize with a remark, "We'd like to thank you in 140 characters or less." And we just did.
Whoa!
The company experienced rapid initial growth.
In 2009, Twitter won the Breakout of the Year Webby Award.
On November 29, 2009, Twitter was named the Word of the Year by the Global Language Monitor, declaring it a new form of social interaction.
In February 2010, Twitter users were sending 50 million tweets per day.
By By March 2010, the company recorded over 70,000 registered applications.
As of June 2010, about 65 million tweets were posted each day, equaling about 750 tweets sent each second, according to Twitter.
As of March 2011, that was about 140 million tweets posted daily.
As noted on Compete.com, Twitter moved up to the third highest ranking social networking site in January 2009 from its previous rank of 22nd.
Twitter's usage spikes during prominent events.
For example, a record was set during the 2010 FIFA World Cup when fans broke 2,940 tweets per second in the 30-second period after Japan scored against Cameroon on June 14, 2010.
The record was broken again when 3,085 tweets per second were posted after the Los Angeles Lakers' victory in the 2010 NBA Finals on June 17, 2010. And then again at the close of Japan's victory over Denmark in the World Cup when users published 3,283 tweets per second.
The record was set again during the 2011 FIFA Women's World Cup final between Japan and the United States, when 7,196 tweets per second were published.
When American singer Michael Jackson died on June 25, 2009, Twitter servers crashed after users were updating their status to include the words Michael Jackson at a rate of 100,000 tweets per hour.
The current record as of August 3, 2013, was set in Japan with 143,199 tweets per second during a television screening of the movie Castle in the Sky, beating the previous record of 33,388, also set by Japan for the television screening of the same movie.
The first unassisted off-Earth Twitter message was posted from the International Space Station by NASA astronaut T.J. Creamer on January 22, 2010.
By late November 2010, an average of a dozen updates per day were posted on the astronauts' communal account at NASA_astronauts.
NASA has also hosted over 25 tweetups, events that provide guests with VIP access to NASA facilities and speakers, with a goal of leveraging participants' social networks to further the outreach goals of NASA. Twitter acquired application developer attendance on April 11, 2010.
Attendance had developed the Apple Design Award-winning Twitter client TaBNWNE for the Mac and iPhone.
The application became the official Twitter client for the iPhone, iPad, and Mac. From September through October 2010, the company began rolling out new Twitter, an entirely revamped edition of Twitter.com.
Changes included the ability to see pictures and videos without leaving Twitter itself by clicking on individual tweets, which contain links to images and clips from a variety of supported websites, including YouTube and Flick, and a complete overhaul of the interface, which shifted links such as @mentions and retweets above the Twitter stream, while messages and log out became accessible via a black bar at the very top of Twitter.com.
As of November 1, 2010, the company confirmed that the new Twitter experience had been rolled out to all users.
In 2019, Twitter was announced to be the 10th most downloaded mobile app of the decade, from 2010 to 2019.
On April 5, 2011, Twitter tested a new homepage and phased out the old Twitter.
However, a glitch came about after the page was launched, so the previous retro homepage was still in use until the issues were resolved. The new homepage was reintroduced on April 20.
On December 8, 2011, Twitter overhauled its website once more to feature the Fly design, which the service says is easier for new users to follow and promotes advertising.
In addition to the home tab, the Connect and Discover tabs were introduced along with a redesigned profile and timeline of tweets.
The site's layout has been compared to that of Facebook.
On February 21, 2012, it was announced that Twitter and Yandex agreed to a partnership.
Yandex, a Russian search engine, finds value within the partnership due to Twitter's real-time news feeds.
Twitter's Director of Business Development explained that it is important to have Twitter content where Twitter users go.
On March 21, 2012, Twitter celebrated its 6th birthday by announcing that it had 140 million users, a 40% rise from September 2011, who were sending 340 million tweets per day. On June 5, 2012, a modified logo was unveiled through the company blog, removing the text to showcase the slightly redesigned bird as the sole symbol of Twitter.
On December 18, 2012, Twitter announced it had surpassed 200 million monthly active users.
On January 28, 2013, Twitter acquired Crashlytics to build out its mobile developer products.
On April 18, 2013, Twitter launched a music app called Twitter Music for the iPhone.
On August 28, 2015, Twitter acquired Trend, followed by the acquisition of MoPub on September 9, 2015.
As of September 2015, the company's data showed that 200 million users sent over 400 million tweets daily, with nearly 60% of tweets sent from mobile devices.
During Super Bowl 47 on February 3, 2015, when the power went out in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, Mandela's International Vice President Lisa Mann was asked to tweet, "You can still gun in the dark," referring to Oreo cookies.
She approved and later told that age in 2020, literally the world had changed when I woke up the next morning.
This became a milestone in the development of commenting daily on culture. In April 2014, Twitter underwent a redesign that made the site resemble Facebook somewhat, with a profile picture and biography in a column left to the timeline, and a full-width header image with parallax scrolling effect.
That layout was used as the main for the desktop front-end until July 2019, undergoing changes over time such as having rounded profile pictures since June 2017.
In April 2015, the Twitter.com desktop homepage changed.
Later in the year it became apparent that growth had slowed, according to Fortune, Business Insider, Marketing Land and other news websites including Quartz in 2016.
On April 29, 2018, the first commercial tweet from space was sent by a private company Solstar using solely commercial infrastructure during the New Shepard flight. Since May 2018, tweet replies, deemed by an algorithm to be detractive from the conversation, are initially hidden and only loaded by actuating a show more replies element at the bottom. In 2019, Twitter released another redesign of its user interface.
By the start of 2019, Twitter had more than 330 million monthly active users.
Twitter experienced considerable growth during the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020.
The platform also was increasingly used for misinformation related to the pandemic.
Twitter started marking tweets which contained misleading information and adding links to fact checks.
In May 2020, Twitter moderators marked 2 tweets from U.S. President Donald Trump as potentially misleading and linked to a fact check.
Trump responded by signing an executive order to weaken Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act, which limits social media sites' liability for content moderation decisions.
Twitter later banned Trump, claiming that he violated the glorification of violence policy.
The ban drew criticism from conservatives and European leaders who saw it as an interference on freedom of speech. On June 5, 2021, the government of Nigeria issued an indefinite suspension of Twitter usage in the country, citing misinformation and fake news spread through it have had real-world violent consequences. After the platform removed tweets made by Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari.
Nigeria's ban was criticized by Amnesty International.
In 2021, Twitter began the research phase of Blue Sky, an open-source decentralized social media protocol where users can choose which algorithmic curation they want.
The same year, Twitter also released Twitter Spaces, a social audio feature, super follows, a way to subscribe to creators for exclusive content. An update of ticketed spaces, which makes access to certain audio rooms paid.
Twitter unveiled a redesign in August 2021 with adjusted colors and a new chirp font, which improves the left alignment of most Western languages. In June 2022, Twitter announced a partnership with e-commerce giant Shopify and its plans to launch a sales channel app for U.S. Shopify merchants. On August 23, 2022, the contents of a whistleblower complaint by former Information Security Head Peter Zatko to the United States Congress were published.
Zatko had been fired by Twitter in January 2022.
The complaint alleges that Twitter failed to disclose several data breaches and negligent security measures, violated United States securities regulations, and broke the terms of a previous settlement with the Federal Trade Commission over the safeguarding of user data.
The report also claims that the Indian government forced Twitter to hire one of its agents to gain direct access to user data.
Elon Musk entered into a deal to acquire Twitter for US $44 billion on April 25, 2022.
The deal formally closed on October 27, 2022, following an attempt by Musk to terminate the deal in July.
Immediately following the closure of the deal, Musk ousted existing leadership at Twitter, Incorporated, including CEO Parag Agrawal, and instated himself as head of the company. Following Twitter's change in ownership, Musk began referring to the platform as X/Twitter and X-Twitter, and renamed several features to remove references to bird-oriented terminology, including birdwatch to community notes and quote tweets to quotes.
On July 23, 2023, Musk confirmed the rebrand, which started when the X.com domain, formerly associated with PayPal, began redirecting to Twitter. The logo was changed from the bird to the X the next day, and the platform's official name and associated accounts also began using the letter X within their handles.
The @X handle was originally owned by photographer Gene X. Lang, who registered it in 2007.
Wang had expressed willingness to sell the handle, but received an email on July 25, 2023, stating that the company was taking it.
He He was offered some X merchandise in a meeting with the company's leaders, but no financial benefits.
The Android app's name and icon were changed to X on Google Play by July 27. The same change went live on the App Store. On July 31, after Apple granted an exception to its minimum character length of 2.
Around that time, some more elements of the Twitter branding were removed from the web version, including tweets being renamed to posts. The rebrand was described as unusual, given that Twitter's brand was already strong internationally, with words like tweet having entered common language.
The rebranding has been criticized on the basis that the trademarkability of the name and logo is weak. There are almost 900 companies in the US that own an X trademark, including an existing social media-related logo owned by Meta Platforms.
The X logo uses a blackboard bold X, a character that has appeared in mathematical textbooks since the 1970s, and that is included in Unicode as U+1D54FX, mathematical double-struck capital X. In September 2023, Ad Age, citing research conducted with a Harris Poll company, said that the rebranding had not publicly caught on with a majority of users as well as notable brands still referring to the platform as Twitter.
In December 2023, Fidelity estimated the value of the company to be down 71.5% from its purchase price.
However, the purchase occurred just before a market-wide price drop, and Musk acknowledged that he overpaid for the service.
Since Musk's takeover, data from app tracking firms has shown that global usage of the platform has declined by approximately 15%, compared to a decline of 5 to 10% in some other social media sites.
This decline in usership has been disputed by Musk, who claimed in May 2024 that there were 600 million monthly active users and 300 million daily active users. On May 17, 2024, the URL was officially changed from twitter.com to x.com. On July 17, 2024, Musk announced that the platform's headquarters would be moved from San Francisco to Austin, Texas.
This was in response to the Safety Act, signed into law by California Governor Gavin Newsom, which bans school districts from passing policies requiring schools to notify parents if their child asks to change their gender identification.
A few days after the rebrand took effect, an AP style book update recommended that journalists refer to the platform as X, formerly known as Twitter.
As of August 2024, it no longer recommends using the Twitter name unless necessary and proposes usage of the terms posted on X, said in a post on X, etc. instead of tweet and tweeted unless mentioned in direct quotations.
On August 30, 2024, Brazilian Supreme Federal Court Judge Alexander de Moraes ordered a suspension of the platform in Brazil after it failed to appoint a legal representative in the country and pay outstanding fines.
This impacted an estimated 22 million Brazilian users of the platform, aside from international reporters and journalists who had traveled to Brazil to cover the NFL Brazil game and could no longer live tweet the event.
Following the ban, Blue Sky reported a spike of 2.6 million user registrations in a week, over 85% of which were from Brazil.
On October 8, the suspension was lifted after the platform settled $5.2 million in fines. We will continue about Twitter/X in part 2.